everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at this whole situation with Pedro Pascal. Now, if you've been keeping up, or if you've been keeping an eye on Twitter lately, then you probably already know what the hell is going on with Pedro Pascal. You don't really need me to tell you. For anyone watching this who maybe doesn't know what the hell is going on, let me just give you a little bit of context as to what happened with Pedro Pascal. Well, Pedro Pascal has decided to post a image on, or I guess I should say a meme on his Instagram account that has gotten a lot, and I mean a lot of attention, and you will understand why if you actually look at the meme. Now, if you are listening to this and you're checking out his Instagram, you're probably not going to see it, since by now he's probably deleted it. In fact, I actually know he's deleted it, but in case you didn't see it, let me just go ahead and show you what the meme he actually posted on his Instagram is. Now, this has something to do with the current election that's going on in the United States, as is everything that's going on Twitter right now. Of course, everything just has to be about the election. Personally, I don't give a shit, okay? I've got no dog in this fight. But Pedro Pascal has decided to post this image on his Instagram. Look at this. Losers in 1865, and then he posts a picture of the Confederate flag. Losers in 1945, and then he posts that flag. I'm not going to say what it is because I think YouTube really does not like it when you say that word. Losers in 2020, and then he goes ahead and posts a MAGA hat. Pedro Pascal basically just compared Trump supporters to Yahtzees. He basically compared Trump supporters to one of the worst, probably the worst people in history. One of the worst groups of people in human history. He just compared half of his fans to literal Yahtzees. That is what this guy did. And this is especially damaging because Pedro Pascal, in case you don't know, happens to be the star of The Mandalorian. Probably the only thing that Disney has put out that has the Star Wars name on it that people actually enjoy. Probably the only thing that people who either like the sequel trilogy or hate the sequel trilogy or is somewhere in the middle actually genuinely enjoy. Well, guess what? Pedro Pascal has probably most likely just pissed off half of their audience by posting this meme, because you just called half your audience, or you just compared them to a group of Yahtzees. Again, one of the worst people in human history. If you know the history of these people, then you'll know the type of shit that they did in the past to minority groups. And this guy just compared Trump supporters to Yahtzees. He only compared them to Yahtzees just because they voted for someone else, just because they have a different opinion than him when in terms of politics. This is why people cannot stand Hollywood right now. This is why so many people are moving away from Hollywood, why they're moving away from Disney, why they're moving away from Lucasfilm, why they're moving away from anything that has to do with Hollywood right now. It's because Hollywood keeps encouraging this kind of behavior. They keep encouraging them. How many times have we seen from Hollywood stars that decide to just completely shit all over their fans on their social media platforms, and yet no one in Hollywood chooses to do anything about that? They keep promoting this type of behavior. You would think that they would talk to them when they bring them on and tell them, listen, as long as you are working for us, as long as you are under contract, you will not pull this shit on social media. I don't care whatever your political leaning is. I don't care what it is. Okay, you do not do anything that is going to that is going to cost us any customers. That is not okay. As long as you are working for us, once your contract's done and you want to go out there and piss people off, that's fine. At least you're doing it on your time. But when you are working for us and when we expect you to bring in as many customers as possible, you do not pull this shit. But of course they're not going to do that because this is Hollywood and they've been taken over by insane far left-wing lunatics. Now, granted, Pedro Pascal did delete the Twitter, did delete this post, and I don't know if Disney went to him and said, "Hey, you need to take this shit down." Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But the fact is, he posted it in the first place, and even if they told him to take it down now, they still told him after he posted it when he never should have posted it in the first place. And as if that wasn't bad enough, this guy decides to go after fans. Technically he decided to go after. Technically he decided to basically publicize a channel called Geeks and Gamers. I'm sure you guys probably know what this channel is, and he just it's obvious it's obvious that this doesn't bother him. Okay, this guy posted something like this and it doesn't even bother him one bit. He sees absolutely nothing wrong with this, and these are the people that are currently working in Hollywood. This is why people like me, why people like you guys, I'm sure if you're watching this, have chosen to leave Hollywood, because you can't stand this bullshit anymore. So here it is. You can see Geeks and Gamers, they decided to post this on their official Twitter account. They made a video talking about this, and he decided to respond and say stay on top of it. So he just made it clear that this guy knows that people like us are making videos about him. Well, I'm sure he doesn't know who I am, my channel, but he knows that there are people making videos about him on Twitter. And then he says something like this. He puts out a tweet like this. It says, "I love the way," he says, "Pedro." So he's just being a dick at this point. He's just being a dick. Okay, obviously this shit doesn't bother him. Oh boy. Okay, so and then I think I remember. Yeah, they decided to go live. You can see it right there. I think they unlisted it, but I think that's that's the link to the actual live stream right there. By the way, thanks to Ichibaka, who's the owner of this website, Disney Star Wars is Dumb. Ichibaka, go give him a follow on Twitter. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Definitely go follow him on Twitter. Fantastic guy. Definitely one of us who isn't afraid to call out the bullshit from Hollywood. You can see this post right here, this tweet right here from Geeks and Gamers. Pedro Pascal on with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Question mark, stay on top of it. So they are inviting him. They are basically inviting him to a live stream in order to talk about this, but of course he didn't go there. Now, I did manage to catch the live stream. I did go in a little bit late, and I wasn't able to see it from the beginning, but from what I know, didn't show up, because of course not. Because why would you have a conversation about this? Why would you? Why would you, when a lot of the people in Hollywood are obsessed with living in a fucking echo chamber where everyone is just repeating what the other person is saying, and no one wants anyone there who has a different opinion than them? And as if that wasn't bad enough, he chooses to go after a fan. Now, according to Ichibaka, about an hour ago, I published a blog post about Pedro Pascal's uneducated Instagram meme. That's this article right here. Ryan Cannell saw that blog post and decided to produce a video about it. Apparently, Pedro Pascal attempted to delete his Instagram meme, not realizing that the genie was already out of the bottle. Twitter user @MyNerdyHome pointed that out, and Pedro Pascal decided to chime in. Yes, that is true. If you're listening to this, and if you're on Twitter, please be careful what you post, because the internet is forever. Even if you're someone who barely has any followers, who thinks that, oh, you can just post whatever you want because nobody's going to see it. No. Eventually someone will find out about it. That's why I always try to urge people, or at least I'm going to urge you, please be careful what you post on Twitter, because the internet is indeed forever. Someone will see it, someone will screen cap it, and then someone will eventually use it against you, okay? So if you're someone who doesn't give a shit about that, and if someone tries to use it against you and you can fight it by giving them context, then you know what, hey, by all means go ahead. But in general, I would caution people against, just think twice about what you post online, whether it's on Twitter or Instagram, or hell, even if you've got your own YouTube channel, just be careful, okay? Just think twice before you post it. Pedro has 493.8 thousand followers and knows full well that this will send his followers to attack @MyNerdyHome, given the fact that SJWs are incapable of controlling their behavior when they see or read something they don't like. That is absolutely true. How many times on this channel have we seen posts by actual insane SJWs who go after people just because they said something that they do not like? So this is Stephanie from @MyNerdyHome. Thanks for this, by the way. You know your followers are you know how your followers are. Don't pretend like you don't. Now I have to put up with their shit while I'm dealing with the death of my grandma. So she has to deal with this while dealing with the death of a relative. Great, absolutely fantastic. All because my friend made a video you don't like. Celebrity privilege. Funeral is Monday. I'll send your condolences. He's probably thinking he's going to teach at Minority Home some moronic lesson and attempt to shame her, which is itself a shame given that it's Pedro Pascal himself who has multiple, I'm guessing he meant to say lessons here, yet to learn. None of this should at all come as a surprise to readers of this blog. However, it's been long known that Pedro has been putting out Wendy-esque rants and memes on Twitter and Instagram for some time now. And then you can see comments about this from Geeks and Gamers, Drunk 3PO, this is from Ichibaka himself. This is Ryan Cannell. I think, this is Ryan Cannell's comments on Pedro Pascal's response to all of this. And I think Ryan Cannell was the initial start to all of this. He made a video talking about this meme that Pedro Pascal posted. And I think she, at Minority Home, responded to, or Geeks and Gamers decided to make a post about it, and Pedro Pascal saw it, and I think that's what caused him to delete the Twitter, because maybe he knew that Disney was people were going to roast him on it, were going to roast him for that meme, or Disney saw it and said, yeah, you got to take it down. I don't know. Either way, he took it down. Although Pedro has deleted the uneducated Instagram, it appears he has reposted without the meme while mocking the whole affair. You can see it right there. And he has doubled down on Twitter. And he just goes on to say, without restating the obvious, you feel me about the MAGA hats, right? So this guy still doesn't think that there's anything wrong with what he did. He still doesn't think there's anything wrong with this. Comparing half of his audience to literal Yahtzees, doesn't see anything wrong with that. Someone lets him know that because of his response, people are now going to go after someone just because they said something that Pedro Pascal does not like, because most of his followers are a bunch of insane people who live on Twitter, a bunch of fucking teenagers, a bunch of fucking losers who have no lives other than just to be, the only thing they know is how to be pissed off on Twitter. Now they're gonna go after her, and this guy sees absolutely nothing wrong with it. Pedro Pascal is a piece of shit, and honestly the worst part of The Mandalorian, okay? Let's be honest, if you've seen the first season of The Mandalorian is the least interesting character in that show. I don't know how the fuck you do that. He's the main character, he is the title character, and yet somehow he's the least interesting part of that show. Now, I haven't started watching season 2. From what I heard, I've heard people not liking what they've seen. I've heard people liking what they've seen. Me personally, I'm not going to watch it because I'm just done with Star Wars. I do not give a shit about Star Wars. Okay, you could tell me The Mandalorian is one of the greatest shows ever made, which isn't true because the first season I thought was frankly a boring piece of shit. Even if The Mandalorian is one of the best shows of all time, I am done with Star Wars, okay? And after this, I know for a fact that I'm done with Star Wars if Disney is going to continue hiring a piece of shit like Pedro Pascal. Okay, I don't care if Gina Carano is there, even though I really like Gina Carano and what she's been doing on Twitter. Okay, I don't care. I really do not care about Star Wars anymore, and I care even less after seeing this. Pedro Pascal is a fucking piece of shit. Fuck him. Now that is all I have to say on this. If you like this video, please consider leaving a like, share the video, and consider subscribing to my channel to show your support. And if you are subscribed, please make sure to check to see if you're still subscribed, because I know for a fact that YouTube unsubscribes people without their notice. So if you are subscribed, please do me a favor and just check and see if you're still subscribed. And if you are, please make sure to click on the bell icon. That way you'll be notified whenever I post a new video and whenever I go live. Which, speaking of that live stream, I am actually speaking of the live streams, I actually have a video planned for tomorrow, just discussing that certain subject. It's just something I feel like I gotta let you guys know now, as opposed to later when it comes to the live streams. If you're one of the people watching who regularly joins the live streams, keep an eye out for that video. It should be out tomorrow. So I'm just gonna end this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Please remember to stay safe and take care of yourselves, and please consider joining me for the next video. Bye for now.